With spooky season fast approaching, we definitely are going to be talking about a lot more horror, and Jamie Clayton's Pinhead in the new Hellraiser is something we definitely want to talk about. What is up, y'all? So before we get started, go ahead and hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 25,000 subscribers. We are less than 1,000 away, so super excited about that. But let's go ahead and talk about this new movie that is coming out, Hellraiser, from Hulu. So this movie is going to come from David Bruckner, who was the director of another film that has definitely gotten a lot of hype, and that is Rebecca Hall's Night House. Now, Night House is a film I have yet to watch. I know. I definitely do want to get on this because it's gotten so many rave reviews, and it definitely sounds something up my alley. So we'll definitely check that out once we get the chance. But let's go ahead and talk about Hellraiser, which is coming to Hulu October 7th. So the director actually says this is not a remake. I just didn't think you could ever remake the original Hellraiser. It's too much of its own thing, and it would be, I think, perilous territory for filmmakers, because how do you top that? This is a new story in the Hellraiser universe, so I'm excited to hear that because I do agree with the director here. Hellraiser is nearly a perfect horror film. I think it blends what horror needs to do in order to be a good horror film. Well, you have to have tragedy, you have to have horror, something grotesque, something that is living in your nightmares after watching it, and this is definitely one of those movies for sure. So I do think that the original is great, and I am definitely saying watch the original before we watch this one because it is just great. But I'm excited for this nonetheless. So the story centers on a character named Riley, who is played by Odessa Asion. So Odessa Asion, I'm not too familiar with most of her work, so I'm gonna quickly look up and see what else she has been in. And so I see she's been in a couple of things here. I don't think I've ever watched any of these, but it definitely sounds like this is more along the lines of we're about to have a breakout star for sure, because I think that this is going to be such a great film, and I'm excited to see all of these actors involved in it definitely break out into bigger roles. So, not saying that Hellraiser is not a big role, because it is. This is one of the most horror icons of all time. Even though people might not ever have watched the movie or anything, they know who Pinhead is. So Bruckner went on to say, it's the tale of a young woman who's struggling with addiction and compulsive behavior that comes in contact accidentally with the box and unfortunately begins to dabble with it, and chaos ensues. And so we already got a little look at Jamie Clayton as Pinhead, and chaos seems to ensue very much so. I think Jamie Clayton in this picture looks great. I have already seen some of the other pictures as well that come with it, one of the Cenobites, and we'll talk about that in a bit because I do want to give a little talk about that for sure. But I think Jamie Clayton as Pinhead looks great. I think Clive Barker, the way that it's been described in the book that this is based on, really much so see that Jamie Clayton is going to do a standout with this role. I think Doug Bradley, who played Pinhead as well, has praised Jamie Clayton for this, and I'm excited to see what we get after when we get the first teaser, which I'm hoping is sometime this week. Maybe tomorrow? We'll see. So tomorrow I think will be like a month out from when we get the movie, so it definitely might be tomorrow when we see that for sure. So Doug Bradley giving praise to another Pinhead makes you think this is going to be a good Pinhead. So this is what they had to say as well about this. We felt a kind of anticipation around the fans to reimagine the character, says Bruckner on the decision to cast Clayton, a trans woman. I'm reading the Entertainment Weekly article. I'll post it down below as well. This is where I'm getting this source from. Bruckner goes on to say, we knew we wanted Pinhead to be a woman. Jamie was just the right person for the role. A person's identity can be really exciting for a role in many ways, but I have to emphasize that Jamie absolutely killed. That's how he got here. So I'm excited about the fact that we have Jamie Clayton playing the character. Like I said, I think Bruckner put it well that this is definitely a role that was meant for Jamie Clayton, and I am excited to see what they do with this role because they've just been talking so much about it. Like they've just been hyping it, and I think Doug Bradley as well talking, and somebody who's so iconic with that voice and everything, and the character itself just hyping this movie up even more just gets me excited. Bruckner goes on to say, what Doug Bradley did with the character is so iconic. We didn't want to do a Doug Bradley impression. We just didn't think that's possible to do. There will be suffering, but you're going to get a sense of what Pinhead's desire might be in a way that it's a little different. So that's interesting to me, because I think that they definitely didn't want to like remake Doug Bradley's Pinhead. I don't think you should. I think you should definitely go for something different that feels an essence of what Hellraiser is all about, but don't try to completely copy it. That is not the way to do it. And I do dig that they want to bring something different to the table with Pinhead and the new Hellraiser movies that hasn't been brought, because I think if you try to remake it, you're just going to piss people off because you're never going to get it right. And I think this is a great way to tackle this. So excited about that as well. So we did get a new Cenobite that we're going to be seeing here. Cenobite. I know a lot of people get mad how I say it, but whatever, that's how I say it. So this character is actually called the Mask. He says we call him the Mask. The Mask is one of my favorite Cenobites, and it's just a tease of what's really to come as far as the Cenobites are confirmed. So this is exciting news here for sure, because I do like the fact that there is a new look and that we can expect some other new looks to be given here. And what exactly this is going to mean for the movie, I'm not sure, but I do think that this is a great choice. I think that Cenobite here looks completely different from what we've gotten before. I would love to see some originals. Will we see Doug Bradley or anybody else return? I'm not sure, but it's definitely exciting news for sure. We also have some other characters here who will be playing a character that is pretty much fascinated by the box. And he is somebody who is just maybe not up to so much good stuff. So this is what the director said. His character is, what would happen if an elite 1%er was also an educated occultist and became obsessed with all the possibilities surrounding the lament configuration, which is the name of the box. He's educated, he's sinister, he's an important human component in the moral fabric of Hellraiser. So that gets me excited for sure, because that is definitely something I was always curious about, especially considering this whole thing about the box and the possibilities, and somebody learning of this who has the wealth and money for it. What would exactly come from this, right? What would be like the whole situation with it if they were to get their hands on it? So that is definitely exciting to hear that we're going to get this aspect of the film as well be told here. Speaking about Clive Barker as well, this is what the director said about Clive Barker coming onto the set as well, helping. He says, Clive's been very involved. Clive came on set before the shoot when we were in prep and was just really a wonderful resource for me. He was really generous with his time and very welcoming of the idea that this was a new group of artists and that they were going to run with this and land in different places with it. He was supportive of that. So I'm excited. This definitely sounds like something that Clive is going for. We do know that they will be doing one on HBO as well, I think with the people behind the new Halloween series. But I'm excited for this one, and with Clive Barker's blessing, basically, we'll see where this goes. So the cast includes Adam Faison, Drew Starkey, Brandon Flynn, Aoife Hines, Jason Lyles, Jinka Olorunfi, Selena Lowe, Zachary Heen, Kit Clark, and Chaim Bass. So Hellraiser will come to you on October 7th on Hulu, and that is just a month away. So I am expecting a trailer pretty soon. This is definitely the week when I would expect that trailer to come out, as it's a month away, and usually I think that's when streaming places for some reason like to release their trailers. I guess it's more in your mind and more fresh, and I definitely do expect something to come out of this. I do think we get a good feel of the movie once that trailer is released. Whether or not we're going to be watching it or not, let me know, but I'm definitely watching this. I enjoy Hellraiser, I do enjoy Pinhead, and I love this whole look of it we've seen so far just from these photos alone we got today. It looks like it's going to be good, and I am 100% on board. So let me know your thoughts and your opinions on Hellraiser. Will you be watching this movie on Hulu, or is this a skip for you? Did you enjoy the original Hellraiser? We're going to be talking about the original Hellraiser pretty soon as well, in anticipation for this movie, just as we're going to be doing The Goodnight Mommy as well, which I'll talk about that movie probably this week. As well as we get more into spooky season, you're going to see a lot more horror movies be talked about on this channel. But don't fret, we don't just do horror, we do everything else. We have 2 reviews on comedies today, so You know we do it all. We got some gaming stuff on the way, and it's just going to be good. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel. We're hitting 25K this month, and you want to be there. So make sure you hit that notification bell, because that's when we're going to do our giveaway. So super excited about that. But as always, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you check out the videos on the left. Make sure you check out our reviews on Honk for Jesus and This Fool, which dropped today. And as always, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.